Good evening, everybody. Welcome to True School Sports. Tonight, it seems I might be going solo for a little bit. Beachy's probably not here. I haven't heard from him, but as is customary here on True School Sports, we try to go ahead and interact with all our fans starting at 8:30. So here we go. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. Let's get to talking. On the news today, I seen that obviously the Managerial fight was not made with Jaime Managerial versus Jermall Charlo was not made due to the fact that both the promoting companies had a major sticking point, which we already know. Showtime wanted to get the full broadcast rights to all. What's up, Susan, man? God bless you. To get all the rights to the broadcast on Showtime, all the rights in Showtime pay-per-view. And you already know from De La Hoya's point of view, he basically wanted Golden Boy promoter De La Hoya wanted to go ahead, and Oscar De La Hoya wanted to add the zone to the to collaborate with the Showtime broadcast to go ahead and make more money, more platform for both of them, and so forth and so forth. That was the major sticking point. That being said, that did not happen, obviously. That's why Jermall Charlo and Al Heyman basically say, screw Golden Boy. We are going to go ahead and go with what we want to do. You didn't want to take the fight, Managerial. Not Managerial, obviously, again, De La Hoya. I'll say De La Hoya and Golden Boy, they had an issue with that. So therefore, that being said, let me get the announcement, get comments if he's here. What's up, buddy love? How you doing? Yeah, I'm just gonna go through some of the cards are, and then we could talk about them, and then I'll give you my personal opinion. I know you guys want to hear more from BT. He's probably getting some content, very busy. Like I said, I haven't heard from him all day, so I figured I'd just jump on. So I'm going to go through all that first, but right now I just want to clarify what's going on. Jermall Charlo is fighting friggin' he's fighting what's his name? It pisses me off because I'm really upset because I've been waiting for this Jermall Charlo to be a new Charlo this year, and fucking, of course, didn't happen. He's going to be fighting Jermall Charlo is 32-0 with 22 KOs, fighting Masik Suleki. Suleki's 30-2. His only two defeats obviously came against Bubu Andre and Daniel Jacobs when he got a UD decision that he lost. And he's 30-2 with 11 kills. To be honest with me, I think there could have been a better opponent for, in my opinion, for Jermall Charlo. And to see it to go this way, it really pisses me off. I think that again, I'm not disrespecting Suleki, but I don't think he's the top of the crumb in the middleweight division. So for me, it's kind of pissing me off with that. I think he should have done better. I think that Al Heyman should have come along and talked to the Showtimes and try to make this better for that the fans can actually see a good fight. Managerial gambled, of course, and he basically Oscar gambled. Oscar makes it look like a PVC, but it's actually both of their faults. It's Al Heyman, PVC, and Golden Boy and De La Hoya's fault for this fight not happening. None of them are right, and they're both selfish, if you ask me. And obviously, the fight didn't happen with Managerial. Managerial had another ultimatum to fight. What's his name? Fight for the I think WC interim title against I forgot the guy's name. Yeah, and he had a chance to fight for that interim belt, and he turned it down from the WBA. WB just went on and decided just to go on. They decided to go on. They didn't want to deal with the bullshit no more. They didn't went for that interim title. So we all thought that the fight was going to be Managerial versus Charlo. Both fighters that have been avoiding Bubu Andre. One thing that I will say about Suleki that I won't say about Jermall Charlo, and that I will not say about Jaime Managerial, is that they're both fucking punks. They both had a chance to fight Bubu Andre, and Suleki had enough balls to get in there with them. They both should be ashamed of themselves. De La Hoya, Al Heyman, they should be ashamed of themselves on how this card came about, why the fight didn't happen, because Suleki had more balls to getting there. So I got more respect for him. As for Jermall Charlo, I was really pissed off on him last year when he fucking fought all these garbage tomato cans that he fought, and he's doing the same thing, just fighting tomato cans, and people want to make a big thing out of it. You know what? For me, I put the coffin on Jermall Charlo. Fuck him. Fuck Golden Boy. And fuck De La Hoya. That's just my opinion on that. I'm sorry, excuse my language. I just feel about that. Al Heyman, on your side, you could have had Managerial fight other fighters. You could have had him fight Abubu. You could have had him fight some other fighters besides what's going on now. Now, what's the fight that's going to happen now? Managerial might fight. We talked about it last night that Harold brought up here. Adames, I think it might be. That might be the fight. Hopefully that gets made now. But again, we're not getting the fights we're getting. How the pay-per-view, how does Showtime, how does Golden Boy, how does the Zone want us to be foolish enough to pay for pay-per-view when we don't even see the fights we want to see? Some are going to beg to argue and say, oh, well, we're avid fans. We don't care. As long as I'm watching boxing, as long as it's professional boxing, it doesn't matter what we pay for. We're paying for a subscription. And that's some other channels will come up with that bullshit. But in here, I don't go with that. If you're making us pay for something that we know is not worthy of paying for, why should we pay for it? Come on now. It's like when you go to the store and you buy something, you got to have quality over quantity. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the quality. You got to pay for that quality. It's the same thing with a big fight or a fight that people want to see. At the end of the day, I'm tired of Al Heyman putting fighters on the show. I'm tired of him just putting them on garbage can fighters and then acting like they're doing a justice to the boxing fans of this world. That's not how it goes. Let me say hi to some of you guys here. Let me see. Ronnie, what's going on, man? Shout out to ya. What's going on, MAW? Eddie Morales, how you doing? Ordinary P, what's going on, man? It looks like I'm going solo with the Nolo tonight, but I haven't heard from BT, so he's probably getting some content. Yeah, Jermall Taylor, that's all it is. Caps only. Jermall Charlo, that's all it is, man. Just caps. Put caps on him. Always fighting this guy. He's gonna be this. He's still a champion. Supposedly he's making a fifth defense. Yeah, who the fuck are you fighting? You're fighting low, maybe BC fighters. You're not even fighting top level fighters to even put the title. But they're not gonna make it like that. Al Heyman's not gonna make it like that. He's gonna make it sound. Oh, yeah, it's his fifth time making a defense. It's a great thing for him. It's the best thing that he could do. Ba 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 ba. And my reality is bullshit. It's not worth it. But todo bien, Valente. Que Dios te bendiga. Yeah, Mr. T, you're right about that, man. He's a snapback. He's an effing snapback. You're right about that. Rolling and bleeding. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. So I'm just really upset. And, they're going to blow up this now and make this narrative that Jermall's making his fifth defense or sixth, whatever it's called. And they're going to say, oh, yeah, he's done this. That's why he's still the WBC champion. Nobody really wants to fight him. Bah, 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 bah. And it's bullshit. Bullshit from that side and bullshit from Managerial's party. Reality, man. None of these two motherfuckers wanted to fight the real man that I feel and BT feels like, Boo Andre. They didn't want to fight him. But I will say this. I will give props. Like I said, I will give props to Marcel Sulaki. You know why? Because he got enough balls. He fought Boo Andre. Yes, he lost, but guess what? He had enough balls in these two motherfuckers, especially Jermall Charlo. He should be ashamed of himself. I'm so angry about this, man. You don't even know, because I don't think it's fair for the fans. It's fair to continue and going back and forth. Like, how are you gonna sell this fight? I don't care if you put on regular TV, so be it. I watch on regular TV, but I'm not paying no preview for it. You out of your damn fucking mind. You got me fucked up. Valiant says, shame on Jermall Charlo. Excited for Lubin Fondora, Charlo Castanho. Yeah, you're right. I'm more excited about that fight. I'm more excited about that fight than I am this asshole right here that's fighting, to be honest with you. You know why? Because Jermall Charlo, he's had problems outside the ring. We already know that. He hasn't had anything right outside the ring. So, goddamn, the least you could do so you don't shed positive light on your motherfucking self is go in there and fight somebody good for the good of the boxing fan and for good of your pocket, so you don't go to a store and you have to don't have enough money on your credit card to pay for something. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here with that. I'm done with him. Okay. I'm just saying, Enrique. I'm just saying, what I'm getting at is, you want to be a fucking lion? then you be a lion. You don't be a hyena. Right now, Jermall Charlo is a motherfucking hyena, straight up. That's what he is. He goes in there, he goes in the crowd, walks through the crowd, and that's how hyenas work. They walk in a whole herd when they go and prey on somebody. Oh, I'm the lion. No, the lion hangs out on himself and he does his own thing. You don't have no lion mentality like what's his name? Say Cobb, Flair the Flair Cobb said. You gotta have that mentality up here. Jermall Charlo, you don't have no kind. For anybody to call you a champion, it's very disrespectful. I'll tell you that. Very disrespectful. I don't understand how you can be a WBC champion, going through your fights and actually making supposedly defenses, because that's how they're gonna sell your fight. That you made 5 defenses against your world champion, nobody's beating you, but they're failing to realize you're fighting tomato cans, most of them. No disrespect to the fighters going there, but you're not fighting top-notch fighters that you should be fighting to get the credit you deserve. I believed in you, Jermall Charlo. I thought you were the man back in, not even last year when you started fighting tomato cans then and you carried on to here. I believed on you a lot. I don't believe on your shit. You know whose shit I'm on? I'm on your brother, Jermall. You know what I'm saying? He's the motherfucker that thought he was going to make it, and he's the motherfucker that got more balls than you. He fighting for the big shit. He's taking on everybody. He's calling on everybody, and he's trying to get it done. He's trying to get it done. He got more balls than you. I don't know which one of you guys is a little brother. Supposedly Jermall's a little brother, but he's the one with the bigger balls, the heavier balls, and he's carrying the weight and the Charlo name and making a good name. But you, Jermall Charlo, you just picking up a paycheck, and you got a lot of issues. Al Heyman, you should be ashamed of yourself. Let me just read the comments. I'm just disgusted with this. Jesus M says, I'm sorry. Let me get him off. Enrique. Where was I? Oh, yeah, he's just pissed off right now. Yeah, so lucky on PB's payroll to take fights. Yeah, he just there to give fights. Don't get me wrong, man. I don't know disrespect. If he can, I will give him his props. You know why I'll give him his props? Because he have enough balls to get in there with Boo Boo Andre. Some of these two motherfuckers didn't do. No boxing beast. You're absolutely wrong. You have to look up. I'm not here. BT's here, but I do know one thing that BT brings out. Boo Boo Andre didn't turn down that fight. And if he turned it down because the money was not right, and that's why he turned it down. He didn't turn it down because he didn't want to fight him. I mean, Boo Boo's been around free agent for a long time. Nobody wants to go ahead and ask him. Jermall hasn't fought nobody in his last 5 defensive fights. But let's put it that way. He's fought some quality fighters, but not the best fighters in his weight class. So Boo Boo Andre didn't run away from Jermall. That's a narrative. You need to go do a little research. The bottom line is boxing beast. Respect to you, but the bottom line is the reason the fight wasn't happening, if I was correct, it had to do with something with HBO, and it had to do with the money that that Boo Boo Andre was asking about, because he was not treated fairly. So that's what it comes down to. But he's not, Boo Boo Andre is not run for nobody. He's gone to every weight class right now to get whoever he wants to get. And I will not sit here and have you talk bad about Andre when the only guy that's really fighting Andre, that fought Andre, is Sulaki, who's fighting the chump Jermall Charlo. So don't come up here with that bullshit. Respect to you though. Enrique Luna says, Ugas, yeah, that's gonna be a great fight. I'm excited about that great fight, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm great about that fight. I love Spence. I mean, Spence coming back. I don't know what he's gonna bring to the table. He's been inactive for what, almost 2 years, I think it is. He's been active. He's had a car accident. He had to deal with other issues outside the ring. So I don't know which Spence I'm gonna see. I don't care what the trainers tell you. I don't care what the fighter tells you just to sell the fight. I gotta see with my own eyes and make my own judgment on who the true. Everybody, please hit the like button if you haven't. Thank you so much. Who the true how he looks right now. I have questions about him coming back into the ring. What he's gonna look like. He's still talking about that he's a motherfucking he's a dog. He's a shot caller. We're gonna see. We're gonna see, because you're gonna fight a Cuban fighter in there. I know Spence is bigger than Pacquiao, and he's not Pacquiao, but if Pacquiao, a more legend than you, who's won 8 divisions, who's fought all kinds of fighters, could not get inside that Cuban style of boxing, I'm just gonna say good luck to you. Good luck to you, Spence, because it's not gonna be an easy fight for you. And you are gonna be the same reason you're going to be with Jermall Charlo and the fucking bullshit because you too don't want to get up and fight fucking Crawford. You talking all this bullshit that you're the short collar, that you're this and that. We're going to find out how good you really are. And you better worry about Ugas first before you worry about fucking Crawford, okay? But I want to see that fight because you just as full of shit as Jermall Charlo. And that's why you motherfuckers are no lions. Both of you motherfuckers, in my opinion, are fucking hyenas, okay? The only true young lion in there right now is Jermall. That's right, Jermell. Jermall Charlo, the one that's fighting for everything, the one that wants all the belts, the one that called out Crawford and told, if you come to 154, I will beat your fucking ass. That's the man I'm talking about. That's the man I want to see. That's the heart I want to see. Jermall Charlo is a killer. He might not look like he's doing things, but he's got the balls to do it. Something I can't say about Errol Spence. Dragged that fucking this fight with Crawford like a broken scratch-out record. It never changes. The same record you put on, the same old song, that he's a shark collar, that he's the big fish, that he's all this shit. We'll find out. You better worry about that Cuban that's going to come after you because that Cuban's not going to sleep on you. I'm going to tell you that right now. That motherfucking Cuban is coming, and he's not going to make it easier for you. If he didn't make it easy for Legend Pacquiao, if you think you're going to sit back and let your big 180 pounds come in the ring and fight motherfucking Ugas and punk him like you think you're gonna punk him, I got news for you, man. You better oil out first. You better make sure you're nice. You better make sure you're fine oil and fine tuned for this fight. You haven't fought in 2 motherfucking years, and you want to toot your horn like you're the best in the fucking welterweight division when you ain't shit yet. Yeah, everybody say you're the best. You done this. That was back in the day before your accident, before you had the eye thing. We don't know shit about you now. So shut your fucking mouth. Get in the ring, Errol Spence, and get in there and fight. Get in there and fight this Cuban guy. Get over him, and then grab your motherfucking balls if you really say you're a real lion, and go with Crawford. And stop talking about the money issue. You say that Crawford got to take the money issue and do this and do that. Well, you should do the same thing. You should do the same thing. Motherfucking Crawford is a motherfucking A-side. I don't care what you tell me, Errol Spence. You haven't gone undisputed. You haven't took over no division. You haven't climbed to another division, done anything. You've done 2 different things. You went across the pond, you beat Cal Brook, and then you came up here, you unified, whatever, but you haven't done enough for me to satisfy you. So Errol Spence, wake the fuck up, or you're gonna be the same shit hole like motherfucking Jermall Charlo. Stop talking your shit. Let your actions talk for you because you ain't doing shit. But talking your shit, we don't know what you're gonna look at when you get in that ring. Okay. Let me see what you got. Okay, let's go. Yeah, Jonathan Smith. You're right about that, Jonathan Smith. You're right about that. Golden Boy was blowing a lot of smoke, but so wasn't El Heyman. Espinosa, but both of them are at fault because they both didn't want to make a bend over and say, okay, let the zone, carry the fight with my gear, and we're all gonna make some money regardless. No, they want to be selfish, especially with PBC. PBC losing a lot of money. I mean, did you see the last couple of PBC pay-per-view TV shows that PBC put out? Shit, they ain't no better than me going to a flea market and buying a fucking movie for $2, to be honest with you. But you're not gonna rob me. So I blame it on both promoters. I don't blame it just on one. I just think that the fighters, I know they don't have the control of it. They could have pushed for the fight more. It could have been more to it than this. I'm so sick and tired of the networks. I'm so sick of fucking promoters just ducking it and not getting the fight for the fans. What's up, Joe? 656-984. Spence saying he will put Ugas to sleep. Well, he better wake the fuck up first. He better wake the fuck up, and he better, like I say, he better come in there as a fine-tuned oil machine. He better be ready. He better be the old Spence, the old Errol Spence we seen before he had the accident. God bless him with the injury, with the car accident. That he comes in here and he got, hey, what's up, kid? What's going on, man?
Well, so I was setting up for the live, and I saw that you were already live. You beat me to it, so.
Yeah. I'm just basically just talking about going off on Spence and Jermall fighting Sulaki. I just think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think that we should get more.
Man. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure where to start with all the chaos today.
Yeah.
You were talking about Charlo, right? Because I think I heard you going about Charlo. You was going off. You was going off on everybody.
Because they're all talking all this shit. But I'm gonna put Spence in the same category as Jermall Charlo. Fucking shit. He has not been the Earl. He's not the Earl Spence that we seen 2 years ago when he was at the whatchamacallit, when he was at his prime, when he beat Brook, when he came over here and fought, before he had his car accident, God bless him, before he had his eye injury, God bless him, he was not shit. So guess what? I'm gonna put him the same. Stop talking and take action and fight motherfucking Crawford. Okay? I'm tired of you shit. You're saying you're the big fish. You're saying you're all this shit. You ain't shit until you do the talking and then walk in the ring with Crawford. Go ahead, brother.
My question is, how the hell do you start talking about Earl Spence? Earl Spence ain't got nothing going on today.
Because he allowed, talk about he's the lines only, and then I brought incorporated with the lines only. There's only one true line out of the three. There's only one true line that won my heart. And last year and this year. You know what that is? Jermall Charlo. J-E-R.
Nah, he's just as bad. Nah. He's just as bad as all of them. Because he don't want to fight Andre either. He was bragging about blackcarding Demetrius Andre from the sport. So he's just as bad. He's just as bad. He's just as bad as both of them. But listen, man, I don't even know where to start. Shout out to all 34 of you here. Man, Pops was going in. He was getting off. But I guess I'll give my little thoughts. I probably won't be as exciting as you, but I'll try to make it entertaining for the people. We'll start with Charlo, right? Because that was the subject. Yeah. Now, Jermall Charlo, right? And you know what? I'm gonna go to screen share just so people can have it in front of them while I'm talking about Jermall Charlo. All right. So Jermall Charlo, very talented fighter, a guy that I once, not just me, but a lot of people in boxing once had very high hopes for. A very well-schooled boxer puncher with great skills. Ever since he got to 160, he's pretty much just plateaued. Like you talk about, he started right here with Hugo Centeno Jr. Had that close fight with Korov that a lot of people thought he lost, and he just been fighting these random. Derevchenko was a good win, but apart from Derevchenko, there's really nothing that really sticks out on his resume, and we've been wanting to see Charlo take that step up for a long time. You're asking to fight Andre, it's too much. You're asking to fight Munguia, it's too much. Showtime Boxing's over there just flapping their gums and posturing. When listen, in all reality, right? Most of these promoters, I'm not gonna say Showtime, but just promoters in general, they already know what they're gonna do. It's not a secret what they're gonna do. They already know what they're gonna do. A lot of times they just do things to give the appearance that they want to make a fight happen, so that when a fight doesn't happen, they have an out. But he's fighting Sulecki. I'm not gonna sit here and disrespect Sulecki, but this is a guy in Sulecki that's already lost to Andrade. He's already lost to Jacobs. He was supposed to fight Munguia. So he's really fighting a guy that people don't want to see at all. So Charlo is pissing away his career, and Jermall, that is, he's pissing away his career. He's got one.
One thing I will say, BT, I'm gonna give more respect to Sulecki than Charlo and Munguia, because he's the only one that stood up to Boo Andre. I gotta give him that much.
Yeah,
I gotta give him that respect. Go ahead.
But no, it's not about. Listen, it's not about really Sulecki. My issue isn't Sulecki. My issue is Charlo. Charlo's at the stage of his career. Look, I know you don't like Canelo. I know I don't like Canelo, but Canelo did just say, "You guys got to fight each other," right? So why isn't someone? I mean, why isn't Charlo? Why isn't Benavidez? Look, I like Andre, but
yeah,
even him. I know he's fighting Parker. And after that, if he beats Parker, he can position himself. But I'm just saying, it seems like there's just not enough urgency. I need someone in the 60-pound division to come out and show some urgency, because it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah. Did you see the scheduling for the PBC? Because I was going to go down to scheduling and talk
about. By the way, we'll get to that in a second, Pops. But I wanted to give a shout out to Monty Brown TV. Shout out to Monty Brown. Been grinding a long time in the YouTube box community. Shout out to him, man. God bless. Congrats on all the success with your channel, champ. But yeah, man. Charlo's career has become one of the saddest things in boxing, because at his best, if you go back and you look at what he was doing at 54, when he fought Julian Williams, I thought Jermall Charlo had the makings of being a pound for pound top fighter, and then he got the 160 and he just got complacent. I don't know if it was the money. I don't know if it was just the weight. But it's getting ridiculous with his career. And the sad part is he's in a fight Sulecki, right? I don't know how he's gonna beat him. If he's gonna beat him, I really don't even care at this point. But should he be victorious, he's gonna run his mouth talking about, keep running your mouth. Like, they're gonna go on there and talk all that bullshit, man. I'm tired of it. The 160-pound division is getting to a point. The middleweight division is getting to a point where it's just as bad. It's getting as bad as the 130 as the lightweight division. And that's saying something because you know how I feel about the lightweight division.
They're gonna sell the fight as saying that Jermall Charlo is going on a 6 defense for his record for his world championship. They're gonna sell like that. I'm just telling you.
Who cares, man? Like, who gives a damn? Like, who cares? But anyway, we got our first super chat of the live. Shout out to my guy Free Hoover with the $1.99 super chat. And as you guys know, when the super chats come out, so does Don King. So Don King, talk to him.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll. One guy who likes to let the good times roll is our main man, the big bad booty daddy himself, Scott Steiner. Put them in the Steiner recliner.
Bump and grind. And it's only a matter of time because he called me the big bad booty daddy.
There you have it. So shout out to Free Hoover. He says Jermall will fight Cordell Booker after Selecki. That honestly, nothing would surprise me anymore. And that would be a colossal cherry pick because at least Selecki is somewhat credible. He go in there fighting Cordell Booker. I'm have way more to say than I do now.
Yeah, I'm over Jermall Charlo. He continue on the same way he did last year.
I mean, how do you go from Canelo, right? You go from Canelo, then you go to Munguia, and you end up with Selecki. How do you go down the pecking order like that?
How's that happen? You're right.
I couldn't believe it. Like you mentioned the Showtime schedule. I mean, I saw the Showtime schedule. Most of the fights that were announced were already fights that had been leaked or reported, like Lubin Fedora, Benavidez, Lemieux. We kind of knew those fights were going to happen. This is really the only surprise. They kind of kept this one under wraps because they knew if anybody knew about this bullshit, they would have been getting criticized immediately and they would have got discouraged making the fight. So they kind of kept this one under wraps. But I'm speechless. Like, I'm actually kind of speechless because Charlo's gotten to a point in his career where, when you fight the same level of opposition over and over and over again, you regress. If you don't progress in the sport, you regress. And I really feel like with him, that's been the case.
Do you think he's there to get a paycheck? That's the only thing. I mean, do you think he really cares about anything now?
I don't think he cares. I mean, because they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight on June 18th. They fought around June last year because I remember I was at his fight last year when he fought Montiel.
It's actually the same date of last year when he beat what's his name?
Montiel.
Yeah.
I was there at that card, so it's gonna be a year to the day. It's just it's a sad state of affairs. It really is, and I can go on and on and on and on and on about talking about Jermall Charlo and.
No, I just want to let my voice opinion on that, and just like I said, just talk about the PB scheduling and whatever else you want to talk about boxing. Whatever.
Well, did you hear, Pops? Did you hear the news about Vergil Ortiz?
I was watching it. No, I didn't hear it. What happened?
You don't know about you don't know about the Vergil Ortiz news?
I was watching the standing pack, the whatever thing with Brian Costa last night, but that was like
Vergil Ortiz pulled out of the Mckinson fight because he had a dehydration problem.
Brandon, please don't get me
serious. I mean, if you feel that way, imagine how I feel. I'm supposed to go to the fight.
Who they're gonna replace him with?
They're not sure yet. They're mulling over some options. They're talking about maybe either making Blair Cobbs versus Mckinson, or maybe elevating the co-main event, which was Blair Cobbs versus Alexis Rocha, to the main event. They might just scrap it all together because Vergil Ortiz was the
main event.
Vergil Ortiz, he was the guy that people were paying money to see. So they might just, if there's not enough interest, they might just scrap the main event together. But it really sucks for Mckinson, who's worked hard for this opportunity. He comes all the way from.
Are you saying he couldn't make weight, Brandon, when he said that? Or
yeah, he couldn't make weight. It's so bad, like they had to go to the hospital, supposedly.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
I pray for him to get better, but I'm just.
We'll talk more about that in a second. But I want to acknowledge the super chat from my guy Monty Brown TV. Shout out to Monty Brown TV. A guy that's been putting in a lot of work on YouTube. He says, "Appreciate the love, my brother. You keep the grind as well." Absolutely. And listen, Monty, we'll give you a nice Don King. It's a tradition here on the channel. So Don King, talk to him.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll. We will here on True School Sports. But yeah, Pops. Thank you, Marty Brown. By the way, thank you. But where Pops go? I don't know where Pops went. But listen, this is a really sad state of affairs with Vergil. You know, I was looking for those of you who've been following this channel. You guys know this was one of the top fights I was looking forward to. I wanted to see Vergil against a southpaw. I wanted to see Vergil against a young fighter, undefeated fighter, and now we don't get to see it. And on top of that, it looks like it's even worse than we think because now he's having all these crazy dehydration problems to the point where he's losing muscle fibers and muscle tissues. So he might not even be at welterweight much longer. He might have to take a go up to 154, which is not surprising because I remember like a month or so ago when I had made a video about him sparring Brian Castano, and when I made that video, I remember saying that he's a lot bigger than Brian Castano. He looks like he should be fighting 154. Well, lo and behold, we might need to see him at 154 because that's where we're at. Now we got Pops coming back. I think Pops should be coming back in here soon. Let me see. Pops, where you at?
I'm here, man. Just I watch and I don't know what happened. My thing again. You know. Go ahead. I just go. You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. But what were you saying about Mckinson and Vergil?
No, I was just saying. It's not fair for Mckinson, like you said, but they couldn't say that they couldn't say that like they didn't know that beforehand. Like, are you serious? Like the week before the fight, you're just gonna fucking.
The thing is, when you cut weight, those last couple of pounds, especially when you're somebody as big as Vergil at welterweight, those last couple of pounds are always the hardest to get off. So you don't. Sometimes you really don't know until like later on in camp. But
right.
Either way, it's really sad. And I was just saying before you came back on here, I was just saying that Vergil, I think he has to move to 154 because I remember Pops when I made a video like a month or two ago just talking about him sparring Castano, and talking about how big he was compared to Castano, and I was saying back then like a month ago, Vergil got to be at 54 soon because he's getting big, and lo and behold, you know, here we are.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think that what the hell happened here? What's going on here with this thing?
You're good.
Yeah,
you're good.
The bottom line is, if he can't make it anymore for his health, he just needs to move up. And but it just beholds me how things happen and whatever. I've learned not to put nothing past boxing anymore.
Absolutely. Shout out to my guy. Hold on, I got a couple comments. Eddie says Rashidi Ellis versus Mckinson, make it happen. Man, that'd be great if there was ever a time. Look, I don't know if Golden Boy and Rashidi Ellis or even Pop. Stop clicking things.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're clicking the screen.
Oh.
If there was ever a time for Golden Boy to give Rashidi Ellis a call, it would be right now.
Yeah.
Because you know a lot. I mean, I'm not even sure like that would save the card or anything because look, if this card goes on, they're gonna lose money. Anything they do from this point forward with this card is gonna lose money. And why are you clicking the screen?
I'm not touching anything, Brendan. It's the
Pop's gotta get a new tablet, man. He is crazy. But yeah, Jermall Charlo. It's really sad, man. It's really sad. I mean, I'm gonna sound like a broken record. It's really sad. There's nothing more I can say than it's really sad. Like I don't want to sit here and badmouth them too much because I'm trying to like not badmouth people as much this year and disrespect fighters like I have in the past. But you know, you can't come over here and say that you know, you're this big bad guy at 160 that all these guys get knocked the fuck out, and you want to posture yourself as this big tough guy, but you won't fight none of the other sharks in the division. You won't fight none of the other top guys. And I understand it's boxing politics and the promoters can get in the way. I get all that, but I'm to a point where I'm starting to think, you know, Jermall Charlo is content with fighting Brandon Adams. He's content with fighting, you know, these guys because he's not really pissed off about it. He's not really. You don't really show that he's upset about it. He's just kind of going through the motions. Let me see. But shout out to all four. All right, what's up?
You know, so I mean, what were we talking about? What were you saying?
I was talking about Charlo.
Yeah, man, I'm just done with him. I mean, they're gonna make it sound like he's doing good going on 5 defenses on that. But what do you think about the other cards, though? What do you think about them?
What do you mean? The ones on Showtime?
Yeah, all the cards on Showtime.
I mean, they're all
Tim Tszyu one.
Tim Tszyu, he's fighting Terrell Boucher, right?
Yeah, he's fighting. Yeah, right.
That's a good fight. I mean, I've talked about it a lot. It'll be a good test for Tim Tszyu here in the States. But man, I'm sorry, Pop. It's hard for me to get my mind off what's going on with this whole Vergil Ortiz, Mckinson.
Talk about it. Let the people give you.
I kid you not. I had a long day today.
Yeah.
And whatnot, and I took a nap for like 1 hour. 1 hour. I woke up, and that's the first thing I seen. I think it just been like 20 minutes when I had just seen that the center reported it, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And it kind of is. It's a big Debbie Downer for me because I'm going to the card, I was very excited for the matchup. But look, Pops. I don't know if you saw this. I wanted to play this for you, but this is Blair Cobbs.
Michael Mckinson, it is time, baby. Never fear, Blair the Flair is here. Woo! And I ain't pulling out, baby. Come and get this work. He's trying to get it. Let's get it. Let's get this work, baby. Because I'm going to fuck you up. Let's go. Woo!
I like Blair Cobb. I like him, man.
I like him too. But his actual opponent that he's still scheduled to fight, Alexis Rocha, he came out and had something to say. Here's what Alexis Rocha told Blair Cobbs.
Okay. Well,
Blair, I heard you calling out Mckinson. No. Your business with me. Don't be running. Let's move the co-main event to the main event. All the fans that pay their tickets, let's get it on, Golden Boy. Come on, The Zone. Let's make it happen.
So there you have it, man.
Oh my God.
What do you think?
Who do you think is a better fighter for? If it happened to be the Blair the Flair be the code.
Personally, for me, I would like to see Blair Cobbs versus Mckinson, but I'm also a strong proponent of doing what's right. So like I don't think like Alexis Rocha should lose the opportunity of fighting on the card. He should still be able to fight Blair Cobbs. But boxing's it's a business, so they're gonna make the fight that they feel is the best fight to put on the card moving forward.
Isn't it De La Hoya's responsibility to have a backup plan when some things like this happen and replace the?
It's every promoter's responsibility, but it doesn't mean they prepare for it.
Yeah.
Give Rashid Ellis a call. Give him a call. See what he says.
Yeah. I know you bumming out about this. So what? Yeah. So what do you think is gonna be what they're gonna do? What will be any possible points? Who's PBC? I mean, who's Golden Boy at 147?
They've got other than Blair, they got Raul Cordial, who's like 12-0, but they're not gonna put him in there because they're trying to move him. They got Rashidi Ellis. They got I don't know. I really don't know what they're gonna do. They might just literally just say fuck the card and scrap it all together.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because Vergil is the main ticket seller. A lot of people, if you go on like the comment sections and you just go on Twitter, I know that social media doesn't represent everybody, but I'm saying like a lot of people they want refunds.
Oh my God!
So if enough people want a refund and they feel like they can't save the card by getting an opponent that's gonna sell enough tickets or get enough people to keep the tickets, then they're gonna scrap the card.
So,
I think. But listen, my shit is booked already. So card or no card, I'm going to LA.
Yeah, but wasn't there a card that happened to you before that you were going to another card and I forgot last minute they changed. I can't remember offhand that they changed the main event, and the main opponent. You had to just go there and watch the fights. I don't remember. I think you went through this before.
I'm not sure, but I mean, it happens enough in boxing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I can't remember right now. They criticized Canelo, but they're fighting tomato cans. Fuck Charlo. Yeah, I'm not gonna disrespect Sulecki. Sulecki is not a tomato can. He's a good fighter, but he's a solid fighter. But he's not the kind of fighter that you should be fighting if you're trying to campaign for a Canelo fight. Andrade is one thing. He's trying to position himself to get in position for a title shot at 168 and fight Benavidez. That's one thing. But Charlo has enough say so within his career. Like the Munguia fight was there, and freaking Showtime and the Weasel that Weasel Steven Espinoza he's a company man. He's a snake, and he's someone that doesn't really care about the sport. He fucked up Charlo's career, and it is what it is. Yeah. But you know what? We can't just blame Espinoza. We can't just blame Oscar because a lot of people are blaming Oscar, and I feel like you can blame both parties. But like Al Heyman, PBC, Showtime Boxing, that whole side of the street, quote unquote, like they created the environment for this stuff. Like Like,
yeah, and the thing about it is
all this is now is just like
yeah.
in life you reap as you sow. So like all the times where Golden Boy and Top Rank needed to fight a PBC fighter, PBC didn't want to give Golden Boy a Top Rank the big fights they wanted.
Yeah.
Now that all of a sudden Al Heyman and Showtime want an opponent, now they want things on their terms.
Yeah.
You know, Austin's kind of sticking it back to him.
And the funny part is that Al Heyman, they've been losing money this year. I mean, from all the things they make, and I was referring to the subscribers and telling them that that for all the pay-per-views that they've had in the past, I'd rather go to a flea market and buy myself a can of Cotoda.
Yeah. Maul just might lose to Boogeyman champ Andre's leftovers, just like Mel lost to Andre's leftovers in Vanes. The Cubs will never want any smoke with the Boogeyman champ Demetrius Andrade. Well, listen, man, I like Demetrius Andrade, but if he gets past Zach Parker next, I'm putting a lot of pressure on Andre to show some urgency. I believe he wants to fight Benavidez. I believe he wants to fight these people, but you know, someone at 60 has to grab the throat. Someone at 60 and 68 has to say to themselves, okay, we want this out of our careers. Let's take some risk. That's the problem with boxing right now. It's like I understand it's a business. I understand people want to do what they feel is best for their careers and make power business decisions, but sometimes you gotta do things that aren't in your best interest. You gotta you gotta take some damn risks. You know, Muhammad Ali said it best himself. You know, he who doesn't take any risks, I forgot the quote, but take some damn risks.
You gotta go against the grains. Basically, what you're saying, you gotta make some decisions that whether low risk, high, you gotta take them to make them happen. I totally agree with what you said. Both promoters are at fault. I think more Al Heyman, because basically Al Heyman said, "Fuck you, I'm gonna make my money," but you're not gonna make you're not gonna tell me you're gonna make more money from Jermall Charlo fighting. No disrespect to Solaki than not Managerial and Charlo. That would have been a better fight.
I'm sorry, I gotta keep it all the way a buck. I was at Charlo versus Montiel last year because, you know, a good friend of the channel, my boy Angel Leo fought on the undercard last year. He beat Aaron Alameda in a good fight, but I was there. They fought in their hometown on Juneteenth, okay, and whatnot. And they sectioned off the whole upper deck, and they even sectioned off parts of the lower bowl. So the Charlos ain't even moving tickets like that. So anything he does that's not a big fight is pointless. It's pointless.
Yeah, I think
he couldn't even put 10,000 people in his own hometown.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure it was even 8,000 people in his own hometown. Yeah. Like these guys, like I'm sorry, man. Like a lot of these fighters need to humble themselves. They need to get up off the high horse and do what's right, not just for their careers, because ultimately, like, look, when you take sometimes you gotta take a risk. It may not be in your best interest. Like me and my good buddy Sean Zattel, we were talking about recently Bernard Hopkins, right? Like, and how they just don't make fighters like Bernard Hopkins anymore. Like Bernard Hopkins could have fought bigger names, but no. When he was in position as a champion, he fought Jermaine Taylor. He fought a guy who everybody thought was talented, but he didn't have to fight Jermaine Taylor. He did it because he believed in himself and he was just cut from a different cloth.
Right. So, I mean, but you don't have those fight. It's like what Mike Tyson said. He said nowadays the fighters are more business than they actually are fighters. You know, if Mike Tyson can see that, then I mean, who else? And I mean, what more can you say about that? He said it. He basically said, "Yeah, it's all about business, not more about fighting." It's ridiculous.
That's why Charlo Castaño 2 is in Los Angeles and not in Texas. Yeah, because they're not moving numbers like that. They're not moving numbers like that. Shout out to my guy RR1000. I see you, champ. Yes, let the good times roll. I don't care how much chaos is going on in boxing. I don't care about who pulls out of the next fight. I don't care about which lower ranked middleweight Jermall Charlo in the fight next. I'm still gonna maintain my joy in the sport because at the end of the day, like I still love boxing, but it's just a weird day. Today's a weird day. Today's a weird day for the sport.
It's crazy. It must be a full moon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It must be a full moon.
Maybe we can take your car.
What's we call it? Rico Ramsey says, I could tell he's fighting on Juneteenth for ticket sales. He's not actually fighting for the Black American holiday. He just wants money. I mean, look, I don't know what's in his heart, but they're trying to make that a thing now where the Charlos fight on Juneteenth. I'm not against it. If it can get them bigger and raise their profile, then so be it. You got to do what you got to do. But as far as him fighting Sulecki, I'm not with all that. Like, Sulecki's a solid fighter. I take nothing from him. But you got to do a little bit more than that if you want big fights. And the same goes for all the other guys.
Yeah, and I think, and don't get me wrong, I think the Charlos are good for boxing when they talk.
Like, I don't understand how, like, Showtime Charlo, Showtime, DAZN, Munguia. Charlo versus Munguia is a layup. That fight is a layup. Like you get the fight done. Right. It's gonna sell tickets in Texas. They're gonna sell tickets. It don't matter if you put the shit in Houston, San Antonio, Dallas. You put the shit in Texas, it's gonna wind up being a really good event. It'll do well. But no, we couldn't do that. We couldn't have it that way.
No, it's ridiculous, and I think it just shows you the selfishness on the promoters and the managers. Honestly, and at the end of the day, it goes back to what you're saying. The fans are the ones that lose in the end, and it's no different in this right now. Like I say, the only thing that I would wish Sulaki, and I'm going to say it again, and I'll keep saying it to the soul live, that motherfucker had enough balls to standing there with Boo Andrew, which Jermall Charlo didn't do, Managerial didn't do.
That's it. These Polish fighters, you can say what you want, but they don't duck no smoke. Under a microscope says they get paid too much to fight lower level opposition, and that's the problem. Right now, what you guys are seeing right now in boxing is the residual effects of the early years of PBC. Them early years of PBC, like 2015, 2016, 2017, when Waddell Reed gave Al Heyman all that hedge fund money, and they were just splashing the cash for these guys to fight these C and D class fighters for multi-million-dollar paydays. That's had a bad residual effect on boxing over the last couple of years, because now when it actually comes to fighting real fighters, these guys want a retirement check.
Yeah, I think
you can't negotiate realistic amounts of money with anybody who's fought under the PBC banner within the last 5 years, because if it comes to a point where they gotta have a risky fight, they're gonna want $6 to $7 million, $5 million. They're gonna price themselves out.
I think you said it best, Brandon, when you were saying that the zone overpaid the Progress fight and other fights. Who was it? You said that
Mikey Garcia. DAZN. We can't put all the blame on PBC. DAZN, just in general, right? Like I'm not against fighters getting money. This is the hardest sport in the world. Like these guys go through hell in the gym. They sacrifice so much. So I'm all about fighters getting money. But I'm not what I'm not for is the fighters conning the fans and the dinner. There has to be a balance. Yes, get paid. Yes, make what you need to make. But at the end of the day, brother, this is still a sport. Excuse the dogs. This is still a sport, and you gotta perform, and you gotta be you gotta be who you say you are in the sport. And just a lot of guys these days don't want to step up to the plate. Like, and that's why I'm at.
I think it's one thing. I think it's one thing that you always taught me, BT, and I have to agree with you 100%. When you say, not against Walmart or cheap stuff, buy quality. The same thing with boxing. If you want the fans to put their hard-earned money, put quality fights on.
That's it. And the thing is, I'm gonna get to that in a second, but we have a super chat from my main man Robert Sanchez out there in Austin, Texas. So Robert, shout out to you for the super chat. And as I've said many times, when the super chats come out, so does Don King. So Don King, talk to him.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
Hey, let the good times roll. Scott Steiner, let the good times roll.
Bump and grind. And it's only a matter of time because he called me the big bad booty daddy.
All right. So Robert Sanchez says, I was here trying to hype up some boxing to some of my coworkers. Then today happened. It's getting harder to defend boxing when you have things like the UFC. Yeah, I mean, look, I totally get it. I mean, again, it goes back to I've been having some great conversation. I've been having some great conversation with my friend Sean, one of the best in the business. Sean Zattel, go check him out on Fight Hype. But we were talking last night about the WBC Franchise Championship and how if a guy requests a fight under WBC Franchise Championship status, do they still get to keep a voluntary defense, or is that a voluntary defense? And me and Sean were trying to wrap our heads around it, and I'm like, man, if we're having this much time. If we're having this much time making sense of all the boxing politics and fine print and minutia, then the casual fans don't have a chance, and they really shouldn't have any patience with it. Because if I barely have patience for it, I know the casual fan who just wants to watch a good fight isn't gonna have patience for that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I mean, I just think, like I said, I don't know. Like back in the '90s and '80s, I'm quite sure there was a lot of politics too. But I don't think it was to this craziness.
I mean, they're obviously what shout out to Chase Athletics, good shout out to you, champ. But there was politics back in the day, but not to the level it is now. I mean, obviously, like Sugar Ray Leonard pulled some politics, like some diva stuff in the past, where he waited for Hagler to retire and whatnot, and
right.
then he fought him. So there's always been there's always been like politics in boxing, but now it's to the point where it's like, man, like these guys are not even getting in the ring and fighting. Promoters don't even want like promoters. Like we're in the day and age in boxing where there's no middle ground. Like you either have guys that are the upcoming pop prospects in boxing, or you have the guys that have already made it and they're at a level where they're champions and they're stars. Right? There is no middle ground. There is no like promotional companies that are really like developing guys who aren't like blue chip talents. If you're not a blue chip talent, you don't get developed. Promoters don't want to take short money for big fights anymore because they want the instant gratification of coming out on the green, right? But if they were to make the fights that fans want to see, yes, you may lose money early on. You may take some L's early on, but at least you're building a profile for these fighters so that when they get to a stage where they can fight another opponent that people want to see, then once they get to pay-per-view, these fans have already seen the fighter progress and fight top guys. Like people want to give Oscar De La Hoya all this shit, right? Like and say he lost this fight and that fight. But one thing about Oscar is he fought everybody. He didn't dump no smoke. That's why when Oscar fought, yes, Oscar had things going for him. He had the Latino market. He was he won the gold medal. He had some things going for him that a lot of fighters didn't. But one thing he also had going for him was that he fought, and he fought fights that mattered. So when he got to his fights with the likes of Trinidad and things like that, they sold.
Yeah.
You know,
one to my point that's very you always drive back home to me, BT, even though you didn't live in my era. They have so many promotional companies like they have now that makes boxing more of a big cluster. You know,
it's not really the promotional companies. I mean, most of the promotional companies that exist now have always existed. Like, I mean, well, not always, but like they've been around for a while. Like Top Rank's been around for a while. Managerial's been around for a while.
Right.
Golden Boy's obviously newer. PBC's obviously newer, but you know, listen, man, the promoters are always going to do what's in their best interest. But the thing is now, the problem we're having now in boxing is that there's so many power brokers, power players in the sport that now it's like there's more hands in the cookie jar. So because there's more hands in the cookie jar, everyone's going to be a bit more tactical with how they move their fighters. And because of that, it takes way longer to get the fights we need in boxing.
And then you'll say also that this is one of the reasons why we know that Don King had all kinds of faults and he supposedly got accused of stealing money from people and doing all this shit.
Keep talking. Hold on.
Okay, yeah. But one of the things that you say about Don King is that he makes the fights happen. That's for sure. Don King let the good times roll. He makes the fights happen, and we don't have promoters that want to make those fights happen. They want to sit there and be political, like you say, be more selfish than actually making the fights for the fans and taking the risk for both parties, whoever it is, to make the fights and then take that risk and see how it comes out. And that's one of the things you did say you give props to Don King, because Don King he would make the fight. Yeah, he stole from a lot of fighters. We know that shit, but he made the fight.
To be fair though, like there weren't as many promoters when he was at the top of his game. I mean, yeah, he had Bob Arum, but you know he didn't have to deal with like a million other promoters.
That's true. What do you think? That Jermall Charlo is not a pay-per-view. It's regular TV, I think it is. It's not even a pay-per-view.
I pray to God it's not. I mean, when Jermall and Jamal fought, right? When they both fought on that doubleheader where Jermall fought Derevyanchenko and Jermall fought Rosario on that doubleheader, that one did like just north of 100,000, if that, buys. And then after that, Showtime put their asses right back where they belong on regular Showtime. So this better not be no damn.
So would you say out of the three lions, would you say out of the three lions, the big official making the money is actual Spence in Texas?
Who cares?
Is that what you said?
That's where I'm at. Like, I don't even care.
I know who cares, but
I don't.
saying,
What?
yeah.
Go ahead. What you
I
asking?
would just say, like, out of the three, you would say that Spence only sells more out of the three in Texas, and it's not the Charlos. It's Spence is the bigger go. And I would willing to say that Vergil sells better than all three of them. I'm willing to say that because Vergil, no, not even close.
Not more than Earl.
No. So
shout out to my guy. Shout out to my guy Box Talk 101. Make sure you guys go subscribe to him. He says, I know a guy who used to fight for Don King too, and he said once Don King started making his fights, that's when he felt like a true superstar. Yeah, and we don't have that attitude in boxing no more. Like, you know, all respect to him. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and disrespect Eddie Hearn because I do respect his work ethic and I do respect him. But man, like, you almost get the sense that like people like Eddie Hearn almost like they get off on just being in the camera. Like, I'll tell you this, Pops. Like, when I went to Tito versus Martinez weigh-in, I didn't even look at Eddie Hearn. I didn't look at the fighters. For the whole weigh-in, I just looked at Eddie Hearn, right? And he really enjoys like being in front and center at the weigh-ins, telling the fighters, you know, where to stand during the weigh-in. Like, he gets off on that. And now in boxing, it's like going back to this comment, like Don King got happy making big fights. Right. Some of these promoters, i.e. Eddie Hearn, or like in Al Heyman's case, Al Heyman probably gets off on just blocking fights, being the powerful guy in boxing.
You know, he's a silent killer.
So I wish we had somebody with a Don King type of attitude. I mean, I don't agree with all of his practices. I mean, he did do some shady things, but one thing he did is he made them fights happen.
Yeah, I agree 100% on that.
But he said King would always put him up in the nicest hotels, have him picked up by limos, etc. Yeah, I'm sure. Wow. I'm sure he did that, but I'm sure that came out of his I'm sure that came out of his purse.
I'm sure that he does it for some of his fighters even today. I think he does that. If we were to, I'm willing to bet that if you went to Stacey McKinley's gym where most of King's fighters are trained, you'll be able to say that Don King actually does the same. He still does the same thing. Right to the house, right for everything. But like I say, at the end of the day, you got to pay that back.
Yeah. Will Lynn, shout out to him with the super chat. You guys know the deal when the super chats come out. By the way, thank you for everybody who's here. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and definitely join the untouchable True School Sports Empire today. Now, like I always say, when the super chats come out, so does Don King. So Don King, talk to him.
Hey, everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
And let the good times roll, we will. And Scott Steiner, the big bad booty daddy, always lets the good times roll.
It's a bump and grind. And it's only a matter of time because he called me the big bad booty daddy.
Thank you. Crazy. Shout out to Will Lynch for the $10 super chat. He says, for all the shenanigans Don King is known for, I can't even deny him the props for giving us some amazing fights. Also, pray for Vergil Ortiz. I hope he gets better soon. Yes, I hope he gets better soon because it sounded like it was really bad. You know, Pops, I'm gonna be honest, like Vergil doesn't strike me as a guy that would fake anything. But you know, we're in such a crazy time in boxing. It's like I almost have to like consider everything.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know, I'm gonna take him at his word. Hopefully, we get a speedy recovery and he moves up to 154. Because if you get into a point where you have these like special conditions where you can't make the weight and it's taking that much of a toll on you, it's time to go to 154.
Yeah, you gotta understand. You're already putting your life on the line when you go in the ring. There's no guarantee you're gonna come back out. Imagine just going through that, off the dehydration and all that, and still putting yourself. Your life on the line before you even go in the ring. So blessings to all the fighters that do that, and blessings to him.
You know, funny enough, when I first got this news, Pops, I joked around. I had a friend who's a Vergil Ortiz fan, and I've been telling him that Mckinson's a tough fight for Vergil. And when I got this news, I texted him in all caps. I said, Vergil Ortiz is ducking Michael Mckinson.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's the funny part. You always say wait till the fight actually happens. You just know
we're at a stage now in boxing where like until the fighters make the damn ring walk and they get in the ring and the trainer takes the robe off, okay, and then the announcement like you have to, because it's not even safe. Even on fight week, things can happen.
Right.
You know, Julio Campos says Don King was a piece of shit, but he understood the simple principle that the biggest fights generate the biggest money, and I think that's a principle that we got to bring back in the sport.
Yeah, but it's hard. I mean,
maybe Ben Shalom will become the next Don King, because Ben Shalom, he hasn't even been promoting that long for boxer, and shit, he's been doing more than a lot of promoters in boxing.
That's so true. That
only thing is he doesn't have the pull here in America. He doesn't have any American talent, so that's probably where he's gonna come unstuck. But I'm rooting for Ben Shalom.
Well, I think he could probably do like down the road, not right now. Get his boxing status like he's doing it over there across the pond. In a few years or something, he can start coming over like and compete with his own.
Yeah,
why not?
I was going to put money on the over for Ortiz versus Mckinson, over 8.5 or 10.5. Well, hey, I guess you can't do that no more, champ. You best adjust your plans. You best adjust your plans.
Yeah.
One SSS. He says, "Are you still going to the card? Are you still going to the card in the Galen Center?" Yes. Listen, I already booked my flight. I already went ahead and booked my Airbnb. So card or no card, I'm going to LA. We're gonna make something good is coming. Something good is coming for me going to LA. Mark my words. So I'll be there. If there's a card, I'll be there. If there's not a card, I'll still be in LA for a couple of days, and I'll just come out to Vegas. But we see. Hey BT, I've never heard of this pulling out for not being able to make weight in boxing. Is this a common occurrence in boxing? It happens. It does happen. If a guy can't make weight, if a guy can't make weight so much so to the point where he's losing muscle fibers and it's really affecting him internally, then of course it happens. But I feel like now with COVID, in the COVID climate we're in, it's like guys pull out all the time and you don't even know what's real anymore. You almost gotta assume that they're faking it. It sounds messed up, but like you kind of have to. I'm not saying Vergil is, but like it's just odd.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good on the Standing Podcast the other day. That was shot a few months ago. So
yeah,
I mean, but he looked good. So got my praise goes to him. I'll leave it like that. I just don't. I guess until you hear the bell ring and you're there. Go ahead. How
do you guys think Vergil Ortiz would do on 154? I think he'd be really good at 154. Listen, Vergil's a hell of a fighter. Vergil got a great power jab. He's got very quick feet, very smart, very educated fighter. Obviously he knows what he's doing because he's had 18 people in front of him and he's not, and it's been the same result every single time. All 18 times have been stopped, and it has been all tomato cans and lackluster fighters. He stopped some good veteran fighters that have never been stopped before. So you got to give him at least that much. But at 54, I think Vergil Ortiz would inject a lot of life into that division. I love that fight.
Didn't you say they need somebody at 154 though to take
Listen, the 154-pound division is full of a bunch of exciting fighters, but B-level guys. Nobody's really completely grabbed the mantle on 154. So we know Crawford was talking about going on 154. If Crawford needs a fight, why not make Vergil versus Crawford at 154? That would be a good fight.
Yeah, and if like you say, if he's having trouble making the weight, move on. It's better for your health.
No, it wasn't a title fight. Maybe it might have been for like a WBC international title or something like that. But nah, I don't think so. It wasn't a world title fight. That's for damn sure, because neither Mckinson nor Vergil is a world champion. Vergil versus Mckinson.
No. Yeah, it was just a fight. I think just not. I mean, the only thing you could gain Mckinson. It would have been great on his resume if it did beat Vergil, which I think wasn't going to happen anyways. I was still picking Vergil to win, and I guess no disrespect to Mckinson, to keep him tuned up for a bigger fight.
That's really who I feel bad for. If he doesn't get a fight like this weekend with somebody. That's a really bad look, because he came here. First of all, forget this week. Forget this whole fight with Vergil happening in March. They were supposed to fight in January. All right, they were initially supposed to fight in January. Right. The fight got pushed back because of Golden Boy. Golden Boy pushed the fight back to March. Right, and now I'm starting to think that the reason it got pushed back to March is because the Golden Boy more than likely knew that Vergil couldn't make the weight in January, so they wanted to give him more time to make the weight in March, and it still didn't work. Wow. That's what I think.
But that's a tall sign, a tall order for him to move up to 154, in my opinion.
Tall order.
I think
he can't make 47. It's what he needs to do.
But that's what I'm saying. So, and I do like his father a lot. I like when he had that interview with Fight Hub TV, and they're making a big thing about what trainer he chose and this and that. But one thing that I do like about his father, he's very sincere, and he's going to look out for the best of his son. That's the bottom line.
Robert, talk your shit, Robert. He said these Dallas area fighters be ducking. Yeah, because Robert's from Austin, and I agree.
Oh, so he knows. He know what time it is. Yeah.
Something in the water in Dallas.
Yeah. Something in the water?
Yeah. Hey, BT, was Mckinson a hard fight for Vergil Ortiz? I thought it was going to be difficult for the first 5 to 6 rounds. My prediction for the fight was that Michael Mckinson was going to have some success in the first 6 rounds, maybe win about 2 to 3 rounds, make Vergil look kind of bad because he's southpaw. He has awkward timing, deceptively strong at times on the inside. But I thought Vergil's power jab later on in the fight, along with his feet, would allow him to close the gap and hurt him. And some things that Michael Mckinson does too that I picked up on going back and watching. I thought Vergil would stop him like in the 9th round. But it was going to be a difficult fight.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just
what's good, H
I'm
Money?
Just saying, Brandon. This happened to a Vergil Ortiz. What up, H Money? You all need to go follow H Money. Go ahead, Brandon. I was just gonna say, with this happening to Vergil Ortiz, do you think this would be a deja vu with Boots and his fighting Clayton?
I don't know, man. I'm not even gonna think about that, man. But you brought it up. I'm actually excited for that fight. It's the co-main event of Charlo versus Castaño, so it'll be good to see Boots back in action against a good welterweight, Chris Clayton. Solid welterweight.
I'm really excited for the Tim Tszyu, Terrell Gausha. Not that his U.S. opening here debut, but not really for that. I'm really more excited for Michel Rivera, the Muhammad lookalike. I'm really excited for that young prospect. I like him a lot. I think that people that don't know him will find out more about him now. And I just hope that even if he wins this fight, that Al Haymon just don't put him on the shelf.
Yeah, hopefully not. Andrew Schwab says, salute to both of y'all fellas. Peace and blessings. Boots will smoke Clayton within 7 to 8 rounds.
Wow. Okay.
Look. I think Clayton is very good. I think Clayton's a solid welterweight. He's got one of the better jabs in the welterweight division. But if Boots is as good as I think he is, he should be getting Clayton out of here within 7 to 9 rounds. That's what I think.
Easy. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Brandon.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, if he Boots, I think that Boots fighting him now. I hope he gets that fight going. And from there he moves out to better fights. I want to see Boots. I want to see Boots fight somebody that will take him past 8 rounds. I want to see him be just like I'm not here lobbying for Cobb, but Blake Cobb, but I would like to see him get tested and go over those 8 rounds to see how his chin really is.
You alone on that one. I'm lobbying for Blair Cobbs. I want to see Blair Cobbs versus Joannis. I want to see Blair Cobbs. Yeah, Blair Cobbs keeps winning. I want to see Blair Cobbs versus everybody.
Well, yeah, he's willing to call everybody, but nobody wants to call him.
I don't know if you saw this, Pops, but I saw an interview on Ellie Sekback's channel when he was interviewing Vergil Ortiz, and Vergil said that apparently like a year and a half ago they made an offer. They made an offer to Blair Cobbs, and Blair Cobbs turned it down. But like I said, you don't know what the terms are, so you don't know what was offered.
Yeah, as far as money wise, it's like we were saying. We said last night. We said that they could offer him $1, and then the other team will say, "Oh yeah, we made him an offer."
It's funny, but that happens in boxing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you were telling me that if a fighter, basically, if he sells himself short, if he's take a lesser amount for one fight, then the promoter will do the same thing to him again in another fight, or something like that. You were telling me.
Yeah, basically, if you're a fighter, and let's say you take short money early in your career, just because, right? Then let's say if you take short money and you lose, if you lose a fight on short money, then more than likely, anytime you get called for a fight, it'll always be short money, or like most times it'll be short money.
The majority of the time, yes.
So my thing is, if you're a fighter and you take short money, you better make sure you win that fight.
And I think that's what I think when we were talking about that 168 pounder that people they blackball.
Lionel Thompson?
Yeah, that's why he don't want to fight. He's like, I ain't doing this shit again for nobody, because then you sell yourself short, and the promoters would rather give you short money, keep the big buck money in his pockets.
Yeah, because they don't care.
Yeah.
Rico says, yo, BT and Pops, I heard people say Shakur is overlooking Oscar Valdez. What do you think? I disagree. I just think he's confident. Absolutely not. I think Shakur Stevenson is way too smart of a person and a fighter to overlook a fight like this with Oscar Valdez, especially when you factor in he's been wanting this fight for such a long time. When you factor in also that, you know, he's fighting him at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. It don't really get too much bigger in boxing than fighting another fellow undefeated fighter in a unification fight at the MGM Garden Arena on ESPN. So I don't think he's overlooking him. I think he's extremely confident because this is a kid that lives in the gym. He's got supreme skills and he believes in his ability. Listen, if these fighters could box like Shakur Stevenson, if they had that level of skill and dedication to the sport, they'd be confident too.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I used to complain about that a lot. I said, "Oh, this guy not this and that," and I know between you and me talking, BT, you always told me people get confidence mistaken for what we use. He's very confident. Yeah. He believes in himself. He's gonna fight a guy like an experienced fighter in Valdez, regardless of what happened. We can't just sit there and just hide the fact that whatever they were talking about his drug. Besides all that shit, he's a talented fighter in the ring. He's a pressure fighter, and he's been into good fights too. So, and I'm too, like you say, Shakur is a very smart young fighter to literally go ahead and learn that, you know what, if I sleep on this veteran, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. I'm coming in here to get my confidence, and I'm just speaking up. I'm letting you know that I'm not scared of you.
Absolutely. Shout out to my guy Will Lynch with the $4.99 super chat again. Thank you, Will. When the super chats come out, so does Don King. So Don King, talk to him.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll on True School Sports. We know that the big bad booty daddy, he lets all the good times roll. Talk to him, Scott.
Bump and grind.
What?
And it's only a matter of time because he called me the big bad booty daddy.
All right, thank you, Will, for the super chat. He says, I think PBC should feed Ugas and Thurman, Ugas, Spence, and Thurman the boots. Give this kid some good names on his resume. He deserves a better pool competition. I 100% agree. But, you know, look, boxing is very much about politics. Boots has taken the first step towards signing with Al Heyman. He's not officially signed with Al Heyman. He just works with Al Heyman right now. But he did sign a deal with Showtime for his next couple of fights. So should he continue to win? I'm thinking sometime in the near future, he's going to sign with Al Heyman. Once he signs with Al Heyman exclusively, he'll start getting them fights. Pops, where you at?
Yeah, and you know what Al Heyman does? Al Heyman puts all his fighters on. I'm right here.
Go ahead.
See me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm here.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and Al Heyman take care of his fighters. He put them in real estate, make them invest, make them do all kinds of things. So it won't be long when we hear Boots and say, "Thank you, Al Heyman."
Yeah. So it's coming soon. It's coming soon.
So, it's coming.
Chase Athletic says Lionel Thompson, great amateur, did a good job at Uzcategui. Was a clinic, made it look easy. Yeah, man. It's crazy because Lionel Thompson's had like one fight at 168, and his one fight resume at 168 wipes out a lot of 168 pounders resumes at 168.
It's just crazy that he's not getting more fights. I would rather willing to pick him for a replacement with anybody just to give him a chance. That's not how boxing works, you know. Because I think he deserves it. I can't hear you, Brennan. Jesus. Fuck up here.
My bad. I'm on mute.
I can't hear you right now.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I had it on mute.
But Harold,
Harold said, damn, let Rashidi Ellis step in. I don't see how Oscar's going to find a name to save the card. He's going to lose money even with the community discount at the Galen Center.
Yeah, I mean, they've been having this guy sitting on a shelf for so long that why not put him out there? We haven't forgotten about how talented Rashid is, but the other fans out there did, you know, they don't know much about it because they don't want to show unless you're an astute fan.
Yeah. MAW says Boots is closing in on mandatory with or without Al Heyman. Yeah, but he's gonna need Al Heyman at some point because the closest mandatory I believe he's to is the IBF. The IBF champion is Earl Spence. Who's Earl Spence signed to? Al Heyman.
Hello.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
you know, we got another super chat. Shout out to my guy Andrew Swap. When the super chats come out, so does Don King. So Don King, talk to them again.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
That's it. Let the good times roll. And one guy that loves let the good times roll is my main man, 50 grand, the big bad Booty Daddy.
Up and grind. Booty. And it's only a matter of time because he called me the big bad Booty Daddy.
There you have it. Andrew says, I want Boutier versus Boots. That'll be competitive. And I'm kind of surprised in a way. I'm kind of surprised that fight's actually not happening now that you mentioned it, because Boutier fought Jermall James as the main event of the last card that Boots fought on. Boots was co-main event against Delorme. They both won. Generally, it should have set up a main event between those two, but instead we're getting Castillo Clayton. So I'm 1000% with you on that. You know, be competitive fight. A really educated pressure fighter, has a great gas tank. He's the kind of fighter that would give Boots rounds. He's the kind of fighter that would take Boots past the 8th round, and he's the kind of fighter that would give us a lot of answers about Jerron Ennis.
Is that the guy that's fighting on the Earl Spence Ugas undercard? His name is Razab Boutier.
Yeah, he's fighting Styonus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's 14-0 with 11 KOs and 1 no contest.
He's good. Yeah.
Okay. So they didn't want to make the fight yet, but that would be great. I think I would love to see because at Boots Ennis, you got to give respect to him too, just like Vergil Ortiz, the young fighters in the game that are really highly people talk about them highly, and he's not scared to fight anybody.
Hold on, Pops. Keep talking. I'll get my charger.
Okay, yeah. So I can see him Boots Ennis getting the fights that he wants now. He just want to get a title fight whenever he gets it. All I want to see him first, if I can just see him go at least past 8 rounds, make sure his chin is strong. He does have a lot of qualities in him. He comes in there, and just like BT said, in his next fight, he's got to take this guy out, Clayton, after 8 or 9 rounds, and we'll see what he's at. But I think the sky's the limit for him. Signing with Al Heyman is a plus for him. I think Al Heyman will steer him in the right direction. Al Heyman will be a good manager and promoter for him. And obviously he must have felt comfortable to go to Al Heyman and not to go to any other promotional company. So I expect to see more from Boots this coming year as the year go on. I was talking about Boots Ennis. I expect more as the year goes on. I want to see how many fights he's going to have this year, and hopefully he'll go ahead and just step him up with somebody, you know.
Yeah. MAW says, BT, so you're saying Boots won't get a mandatory shot unless it's with Al? Yeah, pretty much. I'm saying that he can work his way into the position, but there's many different ways to skin a cat and get out the situation. If Al Heyman don't want Errol Spence to fight Boots once he becomes mandatory, it's very easy. He could pay him step aside money. He could just go have a unification fight. He can go fight one of his other mandatories. You know, it's easy because once Boots gets mandated to fight Errol Spence, you can wait. They could wait up to a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
For mandatory?
Yeah. Once you get mandated to fight someone, you can wait it out a year. Yeah.
Regulations agreed on?
Huh?
That's bullshit. Get the fight done.
Let's say if Boots got mandated to fight what's his name? Spence. If he got mandated to fight Spence today on March 15, 2022, Spence would have to fight Boots. The latest he could fight him is March 15, 2023, a year from today.
So where's he gonna go? Is he gonna go to the forest and pick apples up the apple tree?
I mean, there's so many ways. There's so many ways around fighting your mandatory. You can vacate the belt.
I get what you're saying.
You could go fight your other mandatories. You can pay step aside money. There's ways around it.
Jesus, no wonder everything's so confusing. I'll stick to being a
Styles?
what we're doing.
Yeah, so that's why like Pops, like when I had that one fighter, I'm not gonna say his name, but there was a guy. I think his record's like 7-2 or 8-2 now. There was an 8-2 fighter who came up to me one time and he's like, "I want you to be my manager." I'm like, "Man, I'm not gonna get involved in the boxing business. This shit is horrible.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's too much. It's cutthroat, and to be in it, the casualty of being involved in the boxing business is you're gonna become a very bitter person." Shit, yeah, I'm bitter sometimes just being a fan. I couldn't imagine being in the business.
And I gotta pray for these boxers because they have to really hold their own when they find out some dirty stuff's going behind, whatever the case may be. I've seen it happen, but they know how to hold their own. I don't know how they do it, but I will go in that fucking room. I'll ring straight up. Don't fuck with my money.
I got you. Robert says Spence is gonna maybe win this belt against Ugas, and they'll go and then go on the pond and hop like a duck. Yeah, listen. If anybody, because I listen, the narrative from a lot of people seems to be that once Errol Spence is, because the narrative I keep hearing is Errol Spence is just being a man of his word. He's cleaning up his side of the street, and then he's gonna go see Crawford. Okay, hopefully for boxing fans' sakes, you guys are correct, but I'm not so optimistic. I personally think that if he beats Ugas, which is not a guarantee, he's going to fight the winner of Sionis versus Butiev, or he's going to fight Keith Thurman. It's going to be one of those two.
So, I mean, this is what I don't understand. If he beats Ugas, okay, let's say hypothetically he beats Ugas, right? Then what would be his excuse not to fight Crawford? Crawford's a free agent.
Crawford's in a lawsuit. How about that?
Oh my Lord!
They're gonna use. I'm telling you.
Are you saying it's like a bullshit? Are you telling me that's just like a bullshit excuse not to fight him?
Yes. Man. But look, I'm to the point now. Where I'm not losing no sleep over that fight. Like honestly, excuse my French, but fuck Crawford versus Spence. I don't even care about that fight. At this point, I mean, it's boring. It's boring. Like and all these channels here. I'm not gonna say no names, but all these channels out here, like even the pro Crawford ones, the ones that I agree with, like. Stop talking about this damn fight. Boxing is too big. There's too many fighters. There's too many really good fighters that are actually doing things to talk about. And y'all want to see and talk about what's not happening.
Yeah. So you basically say bring the light to the fighters that are doing something, and not the ones that are just talking.
Who was Spence's IBF mandatory that Punch Drunk Boxing has said? He's talking about Kujatilo Abdulkakarov. He was like, although he was number one for like 2 years, but the IBF never mandated it, so you can say that he was never the mandatory, but he was number one for like 2 years. Spence never fought him. Mm-hmm. Showtime's not slick. They just let us know the undercard added 2 more fights, the ones they already knew. Yeah, they made it sound like the only fight that was a surprise was the Charlo Sulecki fight.
And it's funny you say that, BT, because you would tell me when I was talking about De La Hoya, you were saying that Pops. They already know what's going on before all this hog match comes out in the public. He said, Dad, don't believe all the hype. Don't believe all that shit they're always talking on that, because the reality is before they even go up here and talk hog match in the public, they already know the bullshit and the shit they're doing.
They do. So, they're not stupid.
Yeah, you've been telling me that it still hasn't sunk in yet. Maybe you have to hit me with a couple hands.
I was talking to Rolly recently when I went to go see him, and I was like, yeah, I had told him something like, yeah, boxing don't make sense sometimes, and Rolly said, no, boxing always makes sense. Yeah. What he meant was like they already know what they're doing.
Right, behind the clothes. Yeah, exactly. That's so true. Like I say, you wouldn't know this until you be around boxing more and more.
Hyro says, he said, I'm here to announce that I got you a booking. There was a UFC Fight Pass card this Thursday. Who's fighting Hyro? And what promotion company is it? Is it Roy Jones Jr. Boxing? Is it CES Boxing? Is it 360 Promotions? What promotion is it? Let me see. Ray Vargas versus Mark Magsayo in San Antonio. Vargas is gonna destroy Buddy. I mean, I fights whatever to me. I'm not really too high on either one of them, but we'll see how it goes.
So you're gonna go for Max Magsayo then?
Am I going for him?
I know you're not, but I'm just trying to.
No, hell no.
I know you're not.
I'm sick of them trying to talk. They keep trying to say, "Oh, well, is he the next Manny Pacquiao?" No,
But we went to the top 5 fighters that you fight him. I think these are Lara and Navarrete thing, right? Navarrete.
hey, hold on, Pop, hold on. I gotta get to the super chat. So shout out to my guy Boxing Beast with the $4.99 super chat.
Thank you. God bless you,
The
guys.
super chats come out. Yeah, the Don King. Listen, Don King's making a lot of appearances on this live. So Don King, here he is again.
On this show tonight. Thank you,
Hey,
guys.
everybody, let's have some fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
And one guy who likes to let the good times roll, as I've said many times before, is the big bad booty daddy himself, Scott
Do
Steiner.
the bump and grind. And it's only a matter of time because they call me the big bad booty daddy.
Shout out to Boxy Beast. He says Demetrius Andre talked a bunch of smack about a DVD of him fighting Lara in 2015, 2016. Mysteriously, he never released it. I would like Paul Andre to release the DVD on True School. You know what? I actually talked to Paul Andre today. I talked to him for about 15 minutes. I might have to ask him about that. I'm gonna have to ask him about that. You know, where's the DVD? Where's the where's the DVD? If you got the DVD, let's convert it into like a video or whatever. However you do that, we'll figure it out. Put it here on True School Sports. We can't just be talking, saying that we got DVDs and then we don't got the DVDs. Where's the tapes?
Yeah, well, you get to the bottom of this one, BT.
I have to call him again. So he got mad at me. I call you because he called me like a week ago. I didn't call him back, and then I called him today, and then he was like, "You don't call me no more," or whatever. And then he talked to me for like 15 minutes, and then it was what it was. But
I know it is. Yeah.
But yeah, well, I'll ask him that. That would be a good conversation next time I talk to him. Spice things up.
I'll remind you for sure.
Yeah, remind me. Al the Powell says they need to bring back boxing on Sundays. I need other things to watch on Sundays besides porn. I liked when Top Rank did the bubble like on Tuesdays. Yeah, Al the Powell, you get a bit too personal, champ.
You make me laugh.
Do what you gotta do.
You do the do. Do what to do. You make me laugh. I like Al the Powell.
But Hyro, we never got to. Hyro, you never answered the question. Hyro, who's fighting on the UFC Fight Pass card and what promotion company is it? Is it Lee Baxter Promotions? Who is it?
It's boxing or is it
It's boxing,
UFC?
yeah. Because no, it's on UFC Fight Pass, but it's a boxing card. Because we've gone live for some of those cards before. We've done videos about those cards. Like,
for sure.
Sometimes those are the best cards to watch.
Yeah, we find some good fights and good prospects right in there we don't know about.
Some good prospects. So yeah, I might even watch it. Because Thursday, I'm not watching it. Because Thursday, I'm going to the Panthers game. I'm about to go watch the greatest show on ice since Disney on Ice.
Yeah.
They're in Vegas.
I think they're playing tonight. I hope they win tonight.
They are playing tonight. They're playing the Sharks.
Yeah.
Let me see. But shout out to all you here. Make sure you smash that like button. Definitely take the time to subscribe and feel free to join. Listen, subscribe. Join the Untouchable True School Sports Empire, one of the best channels in boxing. The home of boxing. Pop's gonna be live Saturday. If there's a card Saturday, Pop's gonna be live. If there's a card Saturday, I'll be in LA to cover it. If there's not a card on Saturday, I'm still going to LA. I'm just gonna have to call an audible and find something else to do.
Yeah, there's
boxing
no other
wise
fights on that weekend besides the Golden Boy fights. That's it.
Edgar Berlanga's fighting Steve Rose.
Okay, so that'll
you can go live for that.
Yeah, could do that.
And too. I'm sure you'd be very excited about that because it's the Puerto Rican fighters we know.
Well, I just want to see what we can talk about Edgar Berlanga, but I want to see Mickey Bay. I hope he instituted and put some new things in his toolbox. And I hope that one of my Christmas wishes for Berlanga is, and I'm going to put him on his Christmas card is, Santa Claus, please bring him the book on how to faint.
One SSS says it's promoted by some guy named Tom Loeffler. It doesn't matter who is fighting. We're here to discover them. It's called Hollywood Fight Nights. Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with Hollywood Fight Nights. I went live for one of those cards. I saw what's that kid's name? The kid that's the son of the referee, Ray Corona. I saw Adrian Corona fight another undefeated guy and knock someone out there. I saw Adrian Taylor fight a Russian dude and get robbed on that card. They have good fights on there.
So it's not bad then.
Hyro says it's a 360 promotions card. It's headlined by Omar Trinidad versus Ivan Valera. Never heard of Omar Trinidad or Ivan Valera, but if I'm not here, Pops, if you want to go live for that, you know, there you go. Thursday night.
Gotta put the thing. Tell them some information and
I'll set it up for you.
Yeah, what's today? Anyway, today's Tuesday, right?
Today's Tuesday, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Chase
just for you, Harold.
Chase Athletic says Everton need to pick it up. Relegation will be bad. I disagree with you as a proud Evertonian and a long, well, I don't want to say long, but a suffering Evertonian of now 6 years and 7 seasons.
No.
I think Everton get relegated will be the best thing to happen to the damn team because
no, you've been saying that. I disagree, Brandon.
They need to get relegated. I'm praying they get relegated. I don't care if it takes Everton 10 years to come to first division. If they get relegated. They have a lot of history. That's just going to bring embarrassment. Who cares? Who cares? Like they're not.
I want them to get relegated.
I would rather them get relegated and be playing the second division than finish in 15th, 16th, 12th, 10th, 8th. You know, every year. Because at the end of the day, like I don't want to make this about Everton, but he brought it up. Like at the end of the day, Everton and the owners, they don't know how to spend money. There's a lot of things internally that need to be changed at the club. So if they want to progress the club, I feel like getting relegated is a necessary evil.
So you're saying it's like a wake-up call? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, because if Everton stay in the league, they still make money. If they finish in 16th and stay in the league, they still make money. If they get relegated, they lose all that TV money, and then they got to compete with 30 other teams just to get back to Premier League. But anyway, enough of those bums. I don't want to talk about Everton right now. But yes, I agree. Back to boxing. Enrique says BT Los Angeles will be jumping off on Saturday. Yeah, I'll be there. Champ. Xander fights a bit. He's getting fights. Yeah, Xander is one of the most active fighters in the sport. You can't go a whole 2 or 3 calendar months on Top Rank without seeing Xander Zayas active.
Yeah, and I think who's the guy he's fighting? You said that it's gonna be one of the toughest fights.
On paper, Quincy Lavalas, I think, is
gonna be one of the toughest fights. Who he fights with
to date.
Yeah,
you know, out of all the guys he's fought, I think he's the best guy he's fought.
Yeah, let me tell you, Alexander's getting big and strong, and I can't believe how much he's growing and stuff. He's getting that big and strong. I think he's gonna have a great. If he continues the way he is, he's gonna be one of the top Puerto Ricans. You can't tell me no. You know what I mean? For sure. You know?
Yeah.
I think
Pops,
Alexander.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Pops. Go ahead.
No, I just think the sky's the limit for Alexander. We know he's talented. He should be getting the fights. People love to see him, and why not? You know, Puerto Rico needs another a superstar eventually. I'm not saying today or tomorrow, but we need something.
Yeah, Dandada says, BT, what do you think of Selecki versus Charlo? I don't.
Just talk about that.
No, listen, it's not a fight that Charlo needs at this point in his career. He needs something big. You know, he's over there sticking his chest out, talking about how he's Mr. Keep Running Your Mouth and all this stuff. Well, actually, no, that's Jermall. But he's always talking about how he would do this and how he would do that, and then he's fighting the Brandon Adams of the world, the Montiels, and now the Seleckis. He's fighting a guy that already lost to Daniel Jacobs and Demetrius Andre. I mean, at the very least, right? Why not fight Jacobs? Why not fight? Go up to 168 and try to fight John Ryder.
Yeah.
Just do something. Do something other than scratch your ass and fight another mid-level contender.
Like I told you, they're gonna sell it. They're gonna sell it. This is 6 defenses WBC champion. Watch.
Yeah.
They're gonna make it like that. Oh yeah.
One SSS says, why is Edgar Berlanga still a 30-year-old prospect? Edgar Berlanga is not 30 years old. Edgar Berlanga is not even 25 years old. What are you talking about?
No. Yeah, he's a young buck. He's still a young buck, but he's good. I think
he's 24. He's 24. You know, but hopefully for his sake, he has a good showing against Steve Rolls because, like I said many times before, Steve Rolls is an opponent that's made to order for Edgar Berlanga. Top Rank is giving him a layup.
I think it's a confident boost. We've seen how the last couple of fights that he's had, he's underperformed, I think, in my opinion. So having a fight with Steve Rolls, even though no disrespect to Steve Rolls, it's a confidence builder, and just to get him back, build him back up to you know, every fight goes to that. Don't you think?
Yeah. Andrew said I should delete that guy for saying that Edgar Berlanga is 30. He's not nowhere close to 30.
Yeah, not even. Well, he don't know. He would probably be funny or whatever. Just shout out to these in the comments.
BT, no one mentions that Andrade is 34, Crawford is 35, Spence 32, Charlo is 32, and Canelo is 31. Yeah, listen, we're moving into the next generation of boxing. So all these guys that want to do nothing and piss away their careers and just be content to make good money fighting mid-level opposition, like your career is passing you by, right? I don't even care at this point. Like, honestly, look, I love Andre. You guys know how big I am on Demetrius Andre, but after the Zach Parker fight, I'm to that point with him. I'm even to that point with Andre. Like, you're 34 years old. Like I think you have a chance to be anybody around your weight, but you got to take a risk at some point. And I just look. I'm not going to get into too much, but I have good reason to believe like that unless everything is 150% right, that Andre won't take certain fights. Yeah, you know? And that's just not how the sport works. That's not how it works. Sometimes you're gonna have to take a fight where things are not in your best interest.
Gotta do something low risk or low reward, or you have
man,
to take something.
I don't even want to hear it, man. Roma Chaltito Gonzalez fought Carlos Cuadras, who was the number one ranked 115 pounder in the world, 35-0, undefeated with 0 tune-ups.
Yeah,
he made it work. What's your excuse?
That's true. That's true. I mean, it's like Canelo say, in a way, Canelo's right. Everybody just wants a free payday, a free paycheck.
I'm almost to the point where, like, man, like
we can hate on Canelo. Or
I have my opinions about some things in the past, but like, I'm getting to a point where, like, because of how boxing is and how boxing is operating, I'm getting to a point where I'm becoming less and less mad at Canelo, which I never thought I would say, but because man,
we could say what we want about Canelo, and he calls a shot. But
yeah, look, hey, pause. Sean rose from the dead. He was surprised that just came out of my mouth, but like it's the truth.
Yeah,
like
me too. I'm becoming a believer of Canelo myself.
I'm not like. I mean, I'm still like. I'm not like a huge fan of him, but like, I mean, I don't have any ill will towards the guy because fuck, man, like Benavidez manager won't get him fights. Andrade, a lot of these guys don't want to fight him. Yes, that is true, but. You know, he doesn't want to take certain risks either. Charlo doesn't want to take risks. It's just I'm done. Like for 135, I'm done. Like 160, I'm done. 68, I'm done. Like
say that Canelo, so you could basically say Canelo, and respect him for it. That we're saying he's fighting all these bums, but these bums really not bums, but low level fighters that are actually champions, but they willing to stand up. All these other champions, all these talented fighters that want opportunity are not doing nothing to make that happen. They're they're basically sitting on unemployment line, waiting for their unemployment check.
I'm still, but at the same time though, like look, I'm not mad at him, but I still don't think he should be sitting over here trying to matchmake. Like you focus on Bivol. You just focus on fighting who you got to fight.
Right.
Don't worry about saying what they got to do.
Right.
Because you didn't keep that same energy.
But I mean, you gotta look at it this way. If you knew he's a big go-getter and he's the one with the bank account, any fighter would make anything possible just to fight for him. So he's like basically saying, "Okay, you motherfuckers."
Dundada's kind of, honestly, I kind of have the same sentiments as my man Dundada. He says, "I hate that Canelo is right." Shit, I hate that he's right. But you know what? Yeah. I'm sticking my flag in the ground. I'm saying it today, man. And then like Charlo put an X in him. Like, you know, he don't deserve that fight. I'm only going to give Andre the benefit of the doubt because he's trying to go to 68 to position himself for the Benavidez fight because that's the only way he'll get the Benavidez fight or any other fight for that matter. Is he positions
you got to put respect on Canelo because we can say whatever you want about Canelo, Brandon. We can say whatever you want, but you know what he's doing? He's fucking fighting. He stays active. He don't make no excuses. He's fighting whoever. He's fighting. We got Jermall Charlo. He doesn't want to step up and fight this guy. Benavidez manager wants to not.
I'm gonna be balanced though. Like it is. Hold on. I'm gonna be balanced though. Like it is a little easier for him to get fights because he's not tied down to a network and he's the biggest money making attraction in the sport. So who's gonna turn down a Canelo? Who in the right mind is gonna turn down that kind of money? But at the same time, it's like, okay, Charlo, you had a chance to fight Munguia. Munguia, you've had a chance to fight, you know, Johnny Beck, you know, Andrade, all kinds of guys. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like. Andre, look, I'm gonna give Andre a little bit more leeway because he's trying to go up to his third weight class. He's trying to become a 3-division champion, He's trying to position himself for the big fights because if he doesn't have a title, he can't get big fights. He can barely get fights, period, with the title, let alone big fights.
Right.
So if he's victorious against Zach Parker, which is not a gimme, I'm going to repeat that because he's going to England. We've seen it recently, what's been going on in England. If you leave a fight close, we know what will happen to you, especially if you're an American fighter. So, he has to make sure he takes care of that against a young, undefeated, hungry challenger in Zach Parker. But after that, from then on, I'm even gonna be a little bit harder on Andre because it's like, man, like you can't just his contract with DAZN will be up after this next fight, right? I even, what, I'll be honest, like I wasn't gonna say this, but I'm gonna say it. Like I was talking to his dad today. I was talking to his dad, and I asked Paul. I said, Paul, what if you can't? Because he mentioned the contract being done. Would you fight? I asked him, would you sign with PBC? And his answer to me was, if as long as they pay us or whatever. That whole sentiment. I'm like, man, look, if you're gonna fight, if you're trying to fight the best people, and you're at 168, you know where they're at. You know where they're at. They're at PBC.
Right. Make the fights happen.
Now, Dundada asked BT, who has the closest resume to Canelo? Charlo, Donaire, or Joshua? I mean, personally, for me, call me biased. I think Charlo got the best resume, or one of the best. He's right there. But Donaire got a great resume. Joshua got a great resume. Yeah. They all have great resumes. Maybe not Joshua. Joshua needs a bit more, but Charlo and Donaire, we're talking about the championship level of boxing. Those two have been at the championship level of boxing longer than everybody. Donaire won his first world title the middle of 2007. Charlo won his first world title in late 2008. So we're talking about upwards of 14 to 15 years at the world championship level. Them guys is doing as far as longevity is concerned. Those guys are doing it at the highest level.
Right.
Why couldn't Charlo make a fight with Carlos Adames? I'll be honest with you. Carlos Adames is cool. I'm okay with that fight, not happening. Carlos Adames was very, very lackluster against Derek Pacheco. He grinded it out. He did his thing. I personally think that if Derek Pacheco wasn't so damn shop worn and didn't have so much wear and tear, that Derek Pacheco would have pulled that out. But I'm okay if that fight don't happen.
Yeah. I like what Bull Understanding said. It's kind of hard to get matches when politics get in the way. When you have money, things are a lot easier to get made.
BT be hating on Canelo. How am I hating on Canelo? I literally just said, how am I hating on Canelo?
Whereby we give the props here. We say he's the most active fighter.
All I'm saying is, by the day, his statements about these guys waiting around, it's starting to look true. It sounds stupid when he says it, but when you see Charlo fighting Sulecki, and then you see Benavidez, his manager, not willing to put him in the ring with Andrade, and then you gotta see Munguia won't fight anybody with the semi-pulse. Andrade's going to fight Zach Parker because that's the only way he can position himself to get fights at 168 or any big fights period. Because none of the guys at 60 wanted to fight him in the first place. It's a sad state of affairs.
Yeah. For sure.
Is the zone keeping the card going this weekend? I want to see Blair LaFleur Cobb's fight. I don't know yet. You know what? I'll check right now. We'll see if there's been any new developments. So far, I haven't heard anything new, but I hope there is a card because if not,
does he fight for Top Rank though?
Who?
Oh, we don't know. We don't know yet. That's right.
Does who fight for Top Rank? Does who?
I thought Blair LaFleur. Huh?
Blair's a golden boy fighter.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything new yet, so we'll wait and see. Maybe Zach Parker is 10 times
on the card.
Huh?
Yeah.
Rashidi?
No, he's saying Zach Parker is 10 times better than Lucky. Probably is, but what? I mean,
he's more skilled. Zach Parker is more skilled than Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what's crazy, Pops? There's all this craziness going on that I completely forgot that Regis Prograis finals begin.
Oh, yeah.
In Dubai.
He's fighting on that Pro Bellum bullshit, right?
Pro Bellum, yeah. He's fighting Tyrone McKenna. He should beat the shit out of
Discovery
Tom
bullshit.
McKenna.
What is it called?
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, but how you gonna get that fight live? We just probably find the results because he's fighting on the.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We can figure it out.
Please. Yeah, I like Big Progress. Don't get it twisted. I like him a lot.
I like him too. It's just unfortunate his career is gonna go. It's unfortunate the rest of his career is gonna go to waste because he signed Richard Schaefer and Probellum.
That's it. But he probably gave him a good bag.
Like I'm with Dondada. Like Probellum doesn't have a deep enough roster to give Regis a good fight.
I don't understand why he was signed with him. He had all options and he didn't take it. You know.
Well, did he really have other options?
I thought they had. I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, that's why you got your manager.
Well,
your manager right there. Yeah.
The fact that Jermall Charlo allowed Daniel Jacobs to run up on him and punk him the way he did, and then never fight, and then they never made that fight. That's like one of the biggest things in his career. I feel like one of the biggest blemishes. You know. Yeah, shout out to my guy. Hold on. Shout out to my guy Majestic TV with the $10 super chat. So as I always said, you know, when the super chats come out. So does Don King. So Don King, talk to him.
Hey, everybody.
God bless. Thank you.
Fun. You don't live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. It don't matter whether you're young or old. Let the good times roll.
Times roll on. See, my main man, the big bad booty daddy, he always lets the good times roll.
The pump and grind. And it's only a matter of time because he called me the big bad booty daddy.
TV with the $10 super chat. He says, where do you see yourself in 5 years and who is AJ fighting next? I love you guys, man. I've been watching for the past 3 years. Well, I'm Majestic TV. I really appreciate you and all your comments, man, and all the love and support. Where do I see myself in 5 years? That's a great question. So in 5 years, I will be 32 years old. I'm 27 now. I can't answer that. I would hope and I believe that I will be covering the sport of boxing, that True School Sports will be about 5 to 10 to 25 times bigger than it is now. And yeah, maybe I'll be married. Maybe I'll have a kid. Who knows? Who knows where I'll be in 5 years? I don't really think about where I'll be in 5 years from now. I just kind of just take it day by day and set short-term goals, set goals for myself throughout the year, and I just try to hit them. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. But I do know one thing. God willing, as long as I'm healthy and you know, I'm still alive. You know, I'll be covering boxing. As far as who Anthony Joshua's fighting next, Anthony Joshua, in a perfect world, Anthony Joshua will fight Deontay Wilder right now because, you know, there's no bigger fight for him out there. It'll make him a lot of money, and it'll be great for the heavyweight division. Go ahead, Pops.
I was just saying, in the next 5 years, I see this channel blowing up. And I see it having more subscribers, and I see all you guys giving support. When it comes to people like you giving us the respect for 3 years, God bless you, because of you people is where we are. Our success is your success.
Absolutely, man. And look, man, like forget 5 years. We blowing this shit up this year. Forget
That's
5
right.
years.
We ain't playing. We ain't playing. We're trying to get this done now. You're right. God bless.
But I appreciate you, Majestic. He says, you say Probellum is bad, but Donaire is active. Explain that. Well, Donaire, he fought Raymar Caballo, his last fight, and then he fought before that who? He hasn't even really had any fight. How many fights does he have with Probellum? Because maybe like one. You can't even say that. He's had like one, maybe two at max. But I'm pretty sure it was one. So you can't even really make that statement that he's been active. Probellum hasn't even been active long enough for you to say that any of their fighters are active. They haven't even had enough cards for you to say that yet.
It's just taking some time. And with them, when I thought they signed with Discovery, and I thought they signed with Discovery in the U.S. and all this crazy stuff, I don't know how good that's gonna do. And I think somebody brought on the live yesterday that they were with whoever they signed with folded or something. It's crazy. Go ahead.
Yeah. Bold and Understanding says if Blair becomes the main event for this card and wins, the Spence fanboys are going to be crying in the car. Think so? I mean, we'll see. We'll see, man. I hope there is a card. If not, I'm gonna find some other ways to occupy myself when I'm in LA. 5 years from now, I might be in a wheelchair. My leg is fucked. I just got on and off roof for work. That's. Hey, listen, man. One thing I will say: people who do like blue collar work, like construction work, roofing, stuff in the automotive industry, just like them carpenters. Like I got the utmost respect for those people because I'll tell you this: I don't want to do that shit. So I respect those people so much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's work, it's sweat. You know what I mean?
It's real work. You really going out there and earning your keep, and those are the real like lifeblood of society. So, you know,
I did that. Do production. Go ahead.
Let me see. Probellum production was so bad with Sonny Edwards. Richard Schaefer was on Showtime with Donaire. Yeah, that Probellum production with Sonny Edwards was ridiculous. You know, David Diamante's microphone didn't even. No, not David Diamante. Was it not Diamante? It was
yeah.
Was it Buffer? I can't remember. I can't remember if it was Buffer or Jimmy Lennon. But whoever they have for the PA announcing, the microphone didn't even work. Then they didn't even let the fighter know. They didn't let Norberto Jimenez know how many rounds there were in the fight. They changed the rounds of the fight like the day of the fight, but didn't tell him. So he thought he was fighting in a 12-rounder, but he really fought in a 10 against Donnie Nietes. That was crazy.
Oh my lord! So the big cluster.
Yeah, it was. It's just a big They have a lot of things to work out over there at Probellum.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna say we brought the other night. Last night, Richard Schaefer has a track record, and that speaks for itself.
Yeah. Shout out to my guy Caesar. He said we're all gonna be super rich in 5 years. Hey, God willing, in Jesus' name, hopefully that happens.
Rich in health. Your health is better than money. Rich in health. Your health is better than money.
Yeah, but if you got money, it's easier to take care of your health.
Amen, my brother.
Could buy better food.
Amen. You
might eat that BS.
Yeah, amen. So keep pouring the super chats. They'll help our health. God bless you guys. I'm just joking. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let me see what else. I know. Pops, what do you think about Michaela? I mean, this is mad random. I know it's women's boxing, but like, you know, Michaela Maris fighting that girl Jennifer Hahn, who already got beat up by Katie Taylor. What do you think about her fighting Jennifer Hahn instead of Alicia Baumgartner? Like, do you think Pops, women's boxing is slowly starting to get to a stage now where they can actually marinate fights?
No,
is that happening?
I honestly don't. No, I don't think so. I think now women's boxing.
I feel like Alicia Baumgartner versus Michaela Maris should just happen straight away.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. They're not even making enough money to even go that way. So why would you even do that? You know what I mean? No disrespect to Hahn, but I just think that you guys are not going to be able to catch up to what the men's boxing as far as payroll is if you're going to sit here and soak up a sponge on Hahn when you can actually fight. I'm not taking that from her, but you can fight another quality fighter like Baumgartner and get yourself a better shot. And what are you gonna do? Fight her? Then you're gonna squeeze it out somebody else? No, just fight the best. You women boxers need everything right now, more so than the men's boxing. That's my opinion on that. So yeah,
they really do. Hyro says, "Are you ready for Oscar Rivas to defend his WBC Bridgerweight belt against Evgeny Romanov?" I hear Alan Babbage wants to cut the line. I'm very excited for that fight. You know, his fight with Ryan Rozicki was really exciting. I liked it. I thought it was a good fight. Romanov is a much more compact and sharper puncher than Rozicki. Rozicki's more of a gunslinger, so I like that fight a lot with Rivas and Romanov. As far as Alan Babbage, man, Alan Babbage needs to go see Philip Hergovic at some point.
Yeah, but Brandon, how many fights are in that damn division? Honestly,
a lot.
No, I thought you said other section of the body's not doing it or something like that.
Yeah, the WBC is the only one who does the Bridgerweight. But that's why I'm kind of excited about Bridgerweight, because it's the only division in boxing where whoever the champion is the champion. That's the guy. There is no other
so you're
sanctioning bodies involved yet.
Old school type thing.
Yeah, I mean,
the old school type of.
I can actually get a feel for what it was like in the 20s.
Back in the day.
Yeah,
back in the day.
Yeah, man.
You think that the WBC is going to keep it going? You think? If they don't get, at the end of the day, you gotta make money off that weight. You're not making no money off that weight class. Shit, you only had like a couple fights and that's it. Money talks. You know what I'm saying?
Hyro getting really crazy. He says, "I want to make love to Jennifer Hunt." Like, shout out to you, Chad.
Hyro needs some help, man. Hyro, get in your truck, go riding around.
Yes, yeah, BT, I agree. They are starting to marinate Michaela Mayer versus Alicia Bumgarner. That fight should be next. Yeah, I really think that we're getting to a stage where certain fights in women's boxing are actually getting marinated. It's getting ridiculous. Like Katie Taylor, people can say what they want, but Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano actually got marinated. They got made eventually, but it was a fight that was marinated. This fight's getting marinated.
Yeah, and it's the same thing that's happening now with this fight. So at the end of the day, the promotion are going to lose. The ones going to lose out is the fighters. So yeah, you know, make the fight.
How are you able to pay to travel everywhere and catch these big fights, BT? The Lord supplies me with great friends and enough money, so we make it happen. Luckily, you know, the channel's doing really good this month. It's going to be doing even better as the days progress. I still think I'm still the mindset that whether there is a card or not a card, I'm still gonna go to LA and I'm still gonna get a video that does crazy views, just because.
Yeah, it's not easy for us, to be honest. MAW, it's not easy. It's not easy for Brandon, but he's got to keep grinding. You know what I mean? We can't sit back and sulk. We just have to keep going.
We don't. Hyro says, sometimes I need to take a break from boxing because it's not good to watch grown-ass men with their shirts off. I need to see some women in action.
He's so stupid.
Could always count how to make us laugh.
Yeah, always. He's probably laughing in the background right now. He probably can't stop laughing.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But
having the fights, and let me see.
Listen, Pops, on that note, look, Pops, I don't want to stretch this live out too long. It's been a great live, honestly.
Okay.
But before I wrap the live up, Pops, is there anything any points you want to get across to the people out there about just anything?
Yeah, just don't believe the hype on Jermall Charlo. The candle's been off. The light on the candle is off on Jermall Charlo.
That's it. Stick a fork in them.
That's it. God bless everybody being here. Thank you for supporting the channel any way you can. Just being here or hitting a like is enough. If you super chat like you did, it will only help Benny on his travels. And just continue to follow us. If you guys have any ideas or any discussions you want me to talk about or do research, just let me know.
Let him know, man. Let him know. And yeah, just what I'll say to end the live is, listen, man. Boxing is much like life. It's peaks and valleys. Today has been a bit of a valley. It's, a lot of things not really going good for the sport today, with Charlo over here fighting Sulecki and proving Canelo right, and as well as Vergil pulling out because of his dehydration problem. So it's unfortunate that Mckinson versus Vergil isn't happening. But we will remain positive. We will continue to cover the sport with dignity, class, honor, and respect, and most definitely integrity. And yeah, it's only the beginning. I'm gonna try to go to a gym tomorrow, guys. So look out for some interviews to come out within the next couple of days. That's what I will say.
Okay.
And yeah. Amen. What I'll say too, program reminder for Pops, if there is no Vergil Ortiz versus Mckinson fight this weekend, then Pops will be going live for Berlanga versus Steve Rolls, as well as maybe Regis Prograis fight in the afternoon. So
that's fine. Yeah, if we find out a channel, I can get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So on that note, you guys take care. Have a blessed night. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.